Magalhaes. It's funny because my name's Margulies. Magalhaes. Cracks me up. I already brought that up to you earlier, didn't I? Damn. As soon as I said it to you, I'm like, we talked about this like 5 minutes ago, didn't we?
Yeah, when I was watching it last night, I thought the same thing.
Rio 1868 Football Club, fresh off of their exit in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, looking to resume where they left off in USL action. A team that has won 3 and drawn once out of their next 4, but tonight they'll take on a hot Rio Grande Valley team that has been very, very strong so far here in 2017. Coming at you live from the biggest little city, downtown Reno, Nevada. It's the Reno 1868 Football Club and the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros here on My 21 TV. Glad to have you aboard tonight alongside Colin Tabor. I'm Alex Margulies. Colin, let's get right into this match here tonight. The Toros, this is a team that has won 4, lost 3, and drawn twice. And when you look at their star player, Eric Bird has been outstanding. He is a true number 10 for them, as they say.
Yeah, I expect Eric Bird to try and find space in the middle to dictate play. He's a very talented player.
Had 7 goals last year in 2016 with Rio Grande Valley. Played his college soccer at Virginia. And for Reno 1868, this is a team that has been red hot. 17 goals in their last 4 matches, and that man has been a big reason.
Antoine Openo, since he's gone up front for Reno 1868, has been a big difference maker with his runs off the ball.
Openo, 26 years old. He was born in Paris, France, grew up in the Philadelphia area, and ever since moving up to striker, he has been a real threat for Reno 1868. We'll pause now for tonight's national anthem. We'll return with our starting lineups and match time tonight between Reno and Rio Grande Valley. All right, we are just minutes away from kickoff tonight here in downtown Reno. It'll be the 1868 Football Club and the Toros, an affiliate of the Houston Dynamo. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. We'll begin with the Toros, who come in 7th place right now in the Western Conference. And Colin, a lot of changes for this club here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of changes from their game Saturday against Sac Republic. The biggest change I would say is Memo Rodriguez into the field. One game so far this season for Toros, but he scored 2 goals in that, so he will be the danger man for Toros tonight.
You see him listed there, 17, Jose Rodriguez, but again goes by Memo, and he'll be someone to watch for, a player that is sent down from Houston. And for Reno 1868, look at their starting 11, and for Ian Russell, hasn't had to make very many changes as of late, and that's been a good thing.
No, definitely not. Only one change. Kip Colby away with New Zealand for Confederations Cup, so Jordan Morrell slides to left back, Brenton Griffiths at center back. Really consistent lineup, and that's what has been the key for Reno 1868 in the last few weeks.
Dane Kelly at the top, along with Antoine Hopino. Talked about him, and Kelly has been electric as of late. He leads the USL with 10 goals. He is the all-time leading scorer in USL history. Here's a look at the Battle-Born Brigade. They're ready to go here tonight, and it should be a good one this evening. Rio Grande Valley, they're a team that is really, really good defensively. They've only allowed 5 goals all year long. They have not allowed more than 1 goal in any match this year. And as we mentioned earlier, this Reno offense, 17 goals in their last 4 matches. Couple interesting matchups colliding here tonight.
Definitely. It's a big feature of Rio Grande Valley's game. They like to sit back. They like to absorb pressure and hit teams on the counterattack. A lot of shutouts so far this season. Like you said, only 5 goals conceded. But we'll see how they do against a red-hot Reno 1868 team that's been scoring goals for fun the last few games.
Talk about the head coaches in this matchup tonight for the Toros. They're led by 39-year-old Junior Gonzalez. He's in the first season at the helm of this Rio Grande Valley team. He played in college at UCLA. And for Reno 1868, it's Ian Russell at the helm in his first season of this exhibition team. Russell, a 2-time MLS Cup champion with San Jose. He spent some time on their bench, and he was the guy that they looked towards to lead this team in their first season. And after a slow start, things have really picked up for Ian and this Reno team.
Oh, Ian Russell's done a fantastic job with this team, finding a team that clicks. Bringing Lindo Mafeka into the team, I think, has really brought real ability into this Reno team, and they've shown it in the last few weeks.
Our center ref, Victor Rivas. Assistant referees, Chris Elliott, Andrew Hanks. And we are just about underway as Dane Kelly stands over the ball. And here we go, Reno in blue uniforms and Rio Grande Valley wearing the Reds tonight. Here's Seth Kasipley. Made some starts here over the last couple of weeks. The midfield spot. Back to Brent Griffiths. Talked about him re-entering the lineup. He has been out for about a month with an ankle injury. Good to see him back in the order.
Very good to see him back. Brenton Griffiths is someone who's very dangerous in the air, both defensively and offensively. And remember, first goal for in USL history, Reno 1868 history was from a Brenton Griffiths header. So expect him on the corners to get up the field and try to win something.
Chris Weehan and Dane Kelly trying to get after the ball there, but here comes Rio Grande Valley the other way. They'll get it past Jordan Morrell, center towards the middle, and that will force Andrew Tarbell to come up and scoop it up. And Tarbell, the 24-year-old, this is a talented kid that the San Jose Earthquakes have some high hopes for.
Definitely, and he'll be learning a lot from David Bingham on how to be a great MLS quality goalkeeper. I think he has it in him to eventually be a starter with an MLS club.
Here's Kasipley again, wide. Or rather, that was Richards. Tarbell, the 24-year-old from Arizona. First-round pick by the Quakes last year, 8th overall. A lot of high draft picks in this matchup here tonight. Joseph Holland, who is inserted in the lineup for only his 3rd start. He was the 10th overall pick in this year's draft and the first pick for Houston this season.
Yeah, Rio Grande Valley brought some talented players out there between Memo Rodriguez and Joe Holland. Guys who don't see a lot of time with the USL team and mostly with Houston Dynamo. So they'll be guys for Reno to look out for.
Both teams feeling each other out here in the opening minutes. Griffiths, with his right foot, will send it all the way to the other side.
We see it already with Rio Grande Valley. They're sitting back. They're not confronting Reno's back line past the half line at all, and they're really making Reno, forcing them into mistakes so that they can then counterattack.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to the USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Chance here for Rio Grande Valley. Left-footed strike goes wide, ricochets off of Jimmy Ockford. That was Todd Wharton. Had a chance there just outside the box here as we approach the 3rd minute.
Yeah, Joe Holland did good to find space between Reno's defense and midfield and was able to be threatening and find Todd Wharton in the top of the box to his feet.
Oh, a corner kick here early for Rio Grande Valley. Into the box and just over the head of one of the Toros players, and that was a pretty dangerous spot for Andrew Tarbell.
Yeah, Robbie Sagal on the far post. He's a big boy. Reno will have to watch out for him. In fact, the whole Toros back line, none of them are under 6 feet tall, so they'll be a danger on set pieces.
That was something talking to Ian Russell. He said really this Rio Grande Valley team top to bottom, really good, really talented. In particular, their back four does a really, really good job, and it's a big reason why they've only yielded 5 goals all season.
5 goals conceded in 9 games is very impressive, and it comes down to the communication and understanding that their back four has with each other.
Game brought to you tonight by Coors Light. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility. Here's Tarbell making just his 3rd start in a Reno 1868 uniform. Has spent most of the season with San Jose, but good chance for him here in the midweek to get some playing time.
Definitely, it's important for him. It's hard to sit on the bench for a long time and then suddenly be thrust into action in an MLS game. So having this USL experience is very good for Andrew Tarbell.
Brent Richards on the ball. We'll send it backwards for Matt LaGrassa. Here's Jordan Morrell now coming up from his left back spot. That's something you'll see a lot from Reno 1868. They will have no problem sending their left and right back well up the field on a lot of attacking chances.
It's a feature of the formation. When you play a 4-4-2 diamond, your width comes from the outside backs, the fullbacks as we call them in soccer. They're the ones that provide that width up the field, and they're outlets for crossing the ball.
Jordan Morrell with his left foot. Gets it out to Seth Kasipli. Kasipli centers it in the box, trying to find Hopino. And it couldn't time it up as Marco Carducci comes up to grab it. And this is for Carducci, his first start this season with Rio Grande Valley. Just 20 years old.
Yeah, had some time last season with Vancouver's second team. Bit of a surprise in the lineup, but that was a good catch from him.
Reno will keep possession. Richards will throw it in for Kasipli. Nice job there to win that one, trying to send it up again for Hopino. Toro is able to steal it away. Whistle blown as Morrell gave a yank there and pulled down Mimo Rodriguez. Here's Eric Bird. Mentioned him during the pregame, 24-year-old from Virginia. An interesting connection with this Toros team. They're not all in the match tonight, but they've got 3 players from the University of Virginia, and all of them were on the 2014 National Championship team. So Houston certainly putting a little extra emphasis maybe on not only some college players there, but guys that had some real winning experience.
Yeah, winning experience and experience playing together, which is also important. They understand each other. They understand how each other plays, and I mean, it's good to have national champions in any level on your squad.
Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Opening minutes here tonight in Reno, 1868. Had the weekend off after playing Sacramento in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup last week, where unfortunately their run in that tournament came to an end to the Sac Republic, a 2-0 defeat.
Bit disappointing for them. I'm sure they would have loved to play Real Salt Lake in Open Cup, being able to play a competitive game against an MLS team, but it sometimes happens, and having a cup schedule along with your regular league schedule can be a bit draining. So,
trying to set it up for Dane Kelly. Kelly can't get it past Carducci, and he is going to regret that one. That was a perfect ball, and he just couldn't handle that first touch.
Yeah, just too heavy a touch got away from him, but a great run from Dane Kelly to find space behind this Rio Grande Valley back line.
Not a lot of times you're going to see Dane Kelly in that spot with that kind of a situation not come away with a goal.
No, you see every time he gets in that position, he's putting it in the back of the net, so he'll be disappointed with that touch, but it's early in the game, so it's good that he's making those runs in behind and he's threatening.
Corner kick on its way for Reno and headed too high by Brenton Griffiths. You mentioned earlier he had the first goal in 1868 history, a headed goal coming against Vancouver, but that time too high off the foot of Chris Wehan.
Yeah, I think he could have done better to really leap higher and meet that and push it down, but I think he got a little shove to throw off his balance.
Our game tonight brought to you by Coors Light. The bigger the mountain, the better the reward. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility. So 8.5 minutes gone here tonight. Colin, how do you see this early
trying to set it up for
period going?
Well, we can see Rio Grande Valley. They start off really far back with that low block, but I think they're pushing up the field a little more. I think they're putting some pressure on guys like Matt LaGrassa, and TJ Kasner's look a little threatening in these opening exchanges. So I think they've looked good, but Dane Kelly, like we talked about earlier, got behind that back line, and he's looked threatening too.
Here comes Antoine Hopino. Had the ball taken away in the box, though, and cleared away by Ivan Magalias. Magalias has played in every game for Rio Grande Valley this year. 23-year-old out of Brazil has been really good. Here's Hollins crossing it to the corner.
Great feet from Joe Holland to find TJ Kasner.
Nice job by Ockford to clear that one out of the box. And a dangerous spot in front of Tarbell. Here come the Toros once again trying to set up for an attack as Reno crowds the midfield. Kevin Garcia. Send it back for Sagal.
Sagal's actually a friend of mine. We grew up playing soccer together, so it's nice seeing him out here in Reno.
Not only that, but he's a Nevada native.
Nevada native, born and raised in Las Vegas. Proud of him in the career he's building for himself. He's a good kid, and I'm really happy to see him in the professional scene.
Sagal has made 5 starts this year for Rio Grande Valley, 22-year-olds. He was a 4th-round pick last year by Houston.
He was roommates with other San Jose goalkeeper who's not with us today, Matt Bersano at Penn State, so there's a little fun fact.
A little bit of a connection there. And Sagal played at Penn State and Temple. Had a great college career. LaGrassa couldn't hold on to it, taken away by the Toros. Griffiths, calm there, getting rid of it. Out to Wehan.
Well done from Wehan to find space.
Mafeka will send it out for Hopino. Cleared out of the box temporarily. Hopino tripped up. He's been so good in those spots. Antoine Hopino. He has earned 3 penalty kicks in the last couple of matches, and it looks like he's got another.
I can't believe that Rio Grande Valley haven't learned to not stab into Opino in the box, because he's always going to look for the foul, and he got it once again.
Did it twice against Seattle, also did it in the next match for Reno.
And here's a chance for Dane Kelly to get yet another goal this season to put his tally to 11.
Kelly, the 26-year-old striker from Jamaica, against Marco Carducci. Kelly, too high. Not this time.
With the amount of penalties he's taken the last few weeks, you'd almost want to put someone else on that duty, because people have a lot of homework to do against him, and goalkeepers know he wants to shoot to the left, and he second-guessed himself and tried putting it down the middle and just too high.
USL, one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent. and rising stars. Stay up to date with the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL. Well, that didn't work out the way Reno had wanted to, but that was a great counterattack. Lindo Mafeka getting it up to Antoine Hopino, and he does what he does best, just so disruptive.
Yeah, he makes great runs. He's threatening, and then he'll be elusive on the dribble, and defenders aren't quite sure what to do, and they stab at him, and he looks for that contact, and he gets it every single time.
Here's Mafeka again, sending it backwards, this time for LaGrassa. Back to Lindo Mafeka, born in South Africa. Moved to the States, to Kentucky, and eventually played in college at South Florida. He's been a big impact for Reno these last couple of weeks.
Dane Kelly might get the plaudits for his goals, but I think Lindo Mafeka might be the most important player on this team. The way he defends from the front, the way he initiates counterattacks, the way he plays the ball quickly, and his 2 shots he's had for Reno 1868 have both been goals. He has completely changed the way this team plays.
Yeah, the San Jose Earthquakes have sent a couple midfielders throughout the year here to Reno, and Mafeka now falling in line with that, coming down on a loan from the Earthquakes. Here comes Rio Grande Valley once again on the attack. Hollins has it taken away by Richards. Trying to spring Hopino again. Can't get it past the midfield as Kasipli will send that one out of bounds.
When you get this many counterattacks in this short of a time, it almost becomes second nature to go for that counterattack every time, and you end up forcing it sometimes, which I think Brent Richards did right there, instead of trying to find someone in space in the midfield like Mafeka or Wehan.
Eric Bird had it taken away by Reno, but here come the Toros back again the other way. Garcia out to Kasner. Kasner takes a shot at it, ricochets off of Morel, but Tarbell is up to the challenge.
Kasner's gotten a lot of freedom on this right side to try and take on Jordan Morel.
Kasner with his right foot. You can see he just caught a piece of Morel there.
Yeah, Morel did well to block the cross there from Kasner.
Game brought to you by Coors Light. What would we be without our mountains, without the things that push us further and call us higher? Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Greater beer, great responsibility.
Well done from Sagal to prevent that ball over the top.
Brenton Griffiths, once again, you see him there in the highlighter yellow cleats. Kasipli comes up, tries to win that one, but headed back towards midfield. Here comes LaGrassa. Up to Mafeka, quick touch to Hopino, and then the whistle blown.
Well done from LaGrassa to try and break that press, and he found Mafeka, but unfortunate little handball to stop that, what would have been a great play for Reno.
Reno 1868 FC in partnership with Pazzo Sports bringing 2017 Liga MX quarterfinalist Atlas Football Club to Greater Nevada Field on July 8th, kickoff 7:30. Tickets on sale now, Reno1868FC.com. Boy, is that going to be special.
Been excited for that game since the announcement. I can't wait for Atlas to come here to Greater Nevada Field. It'll be really cool to see a team of that caliber here playing against Reno 1868. Toro's pushing much higher up the field than their first couple minutes. I think they're trying to force Reno into mistakes up the field. But that's giving more space for Opino and Dane Kelly to run onto. So the Toro's back line will have to be wary of that.
Yeah, it seems like Rio Grande Valley rolling the dice a little bit more than they usually do.
Oh, definitely. I mean, with 5 goals conceded in the season, they're a team that are organized in the back. They make sure that not a lot of chances are created, but they're looking to play a little riskier.
Jimmy Ockford with a whistle blown there after he put his right shoulder into Todd Wharton. Take another look here. Ockford, you can see him trying to get in for the ball there, and you just bowls over Wharton. And a set-piece opportunity coming up here now into the 18th minute.
Yeah, just a little late from Jimmy Ockford there. Give away a foul in a pretty dangerous position for Toros.
You wonder if the style here tonight by Rio Grande Valley, because Reno has been such a good goal-scoring team, that the idea that they can come in here and try and win a game 1-0 or something of that nature like they've done all year maybe isn't the best strategy tonight.
I mean, 90 minutes is plenty of time for guys like Dane Kelly to get some goals, so they might be just trying to outscore Reno today.
And Reno's already had 2 opportunities with Kelly. Just wasn't able to complete that penalty kick, and the other time too strong on a running touch.
Yeah, 2 golden chances for Dane Kelly, but all he needs is a couple, and then next one's bound to be in.
Right-footed strike saved by Tarbell. Good job there. Escalante faked it. And then a laser right to him. He was up to the challenge, and we remain scoreless here into minute 19. Greater Nevada Credit Union is the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Field, this beautiful 2-sport venue. Also shared with the Reno Aces, AAA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And boy, have they been good this year. The Aces, best team in the Pacific Coast League right now. Their offense has been by far the best in AAA. So when you combine the fact that Reno has won their last 2 matches here and the way that the Aces have been playing, it has been a lot of fun these last couple weeks.
Yeah, it's good to
Lindo Mafeka tripped up in the box. They will not draw a whistle that time.
Oh, he barreled into the back of Lindo Mafeka. Refs are always worried to give a penalty right after they've given one before, but that's definitely a penalty kick for me. He comes right into the back of Lindo, and ref has no choice, but doesn't give it.
I think that's exactly your point, is they don't do it very often after a penalty, but it looked like that one certainly warranted one.
It happened for Reno against Seattle a couple weeks ago, but looks like it's not happening today with the multiple penalties.
Here comes a quick counterattack for Rio Grande Valley as Rodriguez sends it up top into the box. Tarbell, and it's cleared away by Ockford, but not again. Are they going to say that's a goal? And it looks like it is. Memo Rodriguez, who had 2 goals in his only start, he has another as Reno can't get it cleared away.
That all came from the space between the midfield and defense for Reno 1868. Memo Rodriguez was able to find space to hit Todd Wharton, and Reno could not get it out of there, but I thought Todd Wharton was offside right there.
Well, that's what Jimmy Ockford thought. He threw his hands up, and you look at the replay there, it looks kind of hard to argue against that.
He was on the line. There's no way you could be more offside than on the end line.
Wow, so a tough break there for Reno. I kind of hesitated announcing it was a goal because it looked like more of an offsides.
Yeah, a counterattack from what should have been a penalty and a goal for Rio Grande Valley. Reno will have to feel hard done by for that.
So a tough break for Reno 1868 here in the first half. We'll see how they respond now. Not only on the missed offsides, but again, we both thought Mafeka, that takedown in the box warranted a penalty kick.
Oh, it definitely did, but refs saw things differently, and now Rio Grande Valley are up ahead.
Nothing you can do about it now. Have to just put it behind. And certainly a tough one to swallow.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of soccer to be played. 70 minutes left, and that's plenty of time for Reno to get a goal. But the way Rio Grande Valley have been defending this season, it's going to be tough. They're a good defensive unit, and now that they got their goal, expect them to sit back even more.
Mafeka trying to find Chris Weehan. Went off his back heel. Reno still having a chance here. Weehan will send it wide for Kelly. Right-footed strike will go too far and out of play.
And that's something from Reno 1868. Even when they lose the ball up the field, they always win it back and keep the pressure on. And it was close after a good little reverse pass from Lindo Mafeka. He almost sent Chris Weehan through, but it was unfortunate. Hit off his heel as he ran past the Rio Grande Valley back line.
So after almost 200 minutes of shutout play here at Greater Nevada Fields, a goal by the opposition. Seattle shut out, as was the next match.
Yeah, against Tulsa, their last 2 home games at Greater Nevada Field. Reno 1868 fans, the Battleborn Brigade, have been treated to 10 goals for and 0 against.
Dane Kelly, the answer. We're tied up at 1.
And what a ball from Openo to find Dane Kelly into space. And Dane Kelly does not miss from there. Cool, calm, collected finish from USL top scorer.
Dane Kelly has been unbelievable for Reno here in 2017. His 11th goal of the season. Make that 60 now in his 6-year USL career. And I tell you what, now 5 consecutive matches with at least 1 goal. This guy just can't be stopped.
He can't be stopped at all, and that is classic play from Reno 1868, where they win the ball high up the field. Rio Grande Valley makes a mistake, and they punish them quickly. They find Openo on the top of the box, and Openo releases Dane Kelly for an easy finish.
Pretty impressive job by Reno, not allowing the disappointment of thinking they deserved a penalty kick, then the disappointment of thinking that Rio Grande Valley was offsides. They let that go very quickly and within minutes able to tie this match up.
When things are going your way, it's easy for when suddenly things aren't. Heads to drop, but they didn't let their heads drop at all, and they responded very well from going down a goal, and now we're all tied up here at Greater Nevada Field.
Well, and you have to think a lot of that is the confidence right now in this offense that it's going to be hard to keep Reno off the scoreboard right now.
It will be impossible, and I think Rio Grande Valley are going to experience their first multiple goal game this season because this Reno attack is red hot.
Kelly again being challenged here. 3 Rio Grande Valley players had to come up to take it away from him. Brenton Griffiths racing up from the backfield to try and meet at midfield.
Good footwork again from Joe Holland to find TJ Kasner into space. Holland's a tricky player, and he's able to get quick little touches past a man and put the wingers through.
Here's Magalies coming up from the back and poked away by Richards.
Good defending from Richards there, not to let Escalante through, and now Reno can regroup.
So a goal in the 20th minute by Jose Memo Rodriguez, and the answer in the 23rd minute by Dane Kelly.
Yeah, Reno can keep up that pressure, and they can win the ball high up the field and score goals. That's what they do best. So Rio Grande Valley would want to be careful playing the ball around in their back line, because that's where Reno are most dangerous, when the opposition team has the ball in their own defensive third.
But Fecka taken down again, this time at midfield, and a whistle blown as he ran into Rodriguez. Jimmy Ockford coming up.
Well done from Jimmy Ockford, defending on the front foot, and then he can regain possession for Reno, and they can build their way out, not forcing things, finding their little gaps.
It amazes me just how comfortable this Reno team is. I know it's part of their just philosophy as a team, how comfortable they are sending their guys up from the backfield, up past midfield. You don't see that from a lot of other teams in this league.
No, a lot of teams will sit back and protect their goalkeeper, but Reno know that if they win the ball high, they'll be able to pressure quicker. So that's a big element of their game plan. And it starts from the back, and everyone is a part of it. Everyone's part of defending from the front foot.
You know, it's interesting. I was talking to Ian Russell about how they were going to maybe change their attack against Rio Grande Valley because of the fact they've only allowed 5 goals all season. He said, we're not going to change what we do. We want other teams to have to adjust to us.
And we saw it again against Tulsa. Tulsa came in with a pretty bizarre formation with the 3-3-3-1. And it worked for a little bit, but then once Reno got their first goal, the floodgates opened, and teams don't know how to respond to this 1868 attack. And it's worth noting in the Open Cup last week, Reno did not play Dane Kelly or Lindo Mafeka, who were a big part of the way this team operates.
Well, and you would think the result might be a little bit different had those two guys been playing. I mean, you could make a case that those two have been far and away the 2 best players on this team.
Oh, and they've been 2 of the best players in the USL as well. They're huge to the way Reno attack, and without them in Open Cup, I think Reno struggled. They were a little bit out of ideas. but when they're on the field, everything clicks.
Here comes Holland back the other way, finding Kasner. Met by Mafeka. Kasner sends it back. Right-footed strike and knocked away by Tarbell. What a great save that was.
Kasner and Holland have been doing very, very well this game and linking up with each other. Before it was Holland finding Kasner, but this time Kasner finds Holland in the top of the box, and he forces an excellent save out of Andrew Tarbell.
Not out of trouble yet. It'll be a corner kick now for the Toros. As we get a look at the Battle-Born Brigade on the other side of the field, having a great time again here tonight. Got their flags, scarves, masks. I mean, they got all of it going.
What a great fan base for a Wednesday night. Stadium is full. People are here. They want to see this Reno 1868 team. And credit to Battle-Born Brigade. When Reno were kind of struggling in the beginning of the season, they were still loud as ever. So that's a very devoted, good fan base that just love that there's now professional soccer in Reno.
Reno able to clear out the corner from Rodriguez, but not out of trouble yet. Rodriguez will keep it from going out of bounds, centers it back into the box, headed away by Griffiths. Kasner puts it in the middle. Holland, right-footed strike and just past Holland that time, or excuse me, Tarbell on a strike from Kasner. It's those two again continuing to harass Reno's goalkeeper.
That was a lovely little flick from Holland to split the two Reno defenders and find Kasner to get a shot just wide of Tarbell's post. Holland's been threatening today. He has looked very good.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Eric Bird had that one taken away by Chris Weehan. Some backup behind him, though.
Yeah, comfortable from Robbie Sagal to find the right back into some space.
Kevin Garcia will take a crack at goal, but that one sails well over the net. So it's been an exciting match so far, 1-1 after the first 30 minutes. Both teams have had some other opportunities. And I think these are the kind of games that you expect Reno to get into because of how good their offense is, and even playing this great defensive Toros team, I think to the point of Ian Russell that they are kind of matching how Reno plays. They're not really playing the way that Rio Grande Valley normally does, and that started before the game even tonight when they made a lot of changes in their lineup, something they haven't done a ton this year.
I think the way Reno plays, a really open style, a really expansive style, it forces other teams to play the same who may not be as comfortable with it.
Reno possessing the ball here. LaGrassa back to Jimmy Ockford. Sagal back the other way. Interesting wrinkle for this game here tonight. Tarbell played his college soccer at Clemson, and TJ Kasner, we've mentioned him with some assaults on goal. A teammate of his at Clemson. Maybe a little bit extra something between those two tonight.
And he'll probably know how Kasner wants to shoot the ball, how he wants to get down on the byline and cross it in. So it'll be good to have that experience of playing with him.
Yeah, I feel like that's more of an advantage for goalkeeper than it is for scorer, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, goalkeepers, you can pretty much guess how they are. They'll either be big, tall, strong guy who's good in the air, or a goalkeeper who's pretty good with reflexes and everything. And Tarbell is a little bit of both. He's just an all-around good goalkeeper who's big and strong, good with his feet, and very good at reaction saves. But so he's not much of a surprise, but knowing Kasner can be huge for him.
Brenton Griffiths will poke that one out of play, but a flag goes up to Todd Wharton. Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Magalhaes in front of Kasipli. Hoping to keep that one in play, but it'll trail out. And once again, a goal kick coming from Andrew Tarbell. First of 2 home matches this week for Reno 1868. They'll get a rematch against the Sac Republic this coming Saturday in the first regular season USL matchup between these two teams, which already have a built-in rivalry with each other in the fact that they're only 2 hours apart.
It will be fun seeing a group of away fans here at Greater Nevada Field. It'll be fun seeing the heat between the two fan bases, which I'm sure will all be in good fun. Nothing malicious between the two cities, but it's nice to have a real rival. So that will be a fun game to be at.
Nice job there by LaGrassa. Oh, a chance there. Weehan was trying to find Dane Kelly, and Kelly wasn't ready for it. But a nice job there. Matt LaGrassa coming up from his defensive holding midfield position, sliding in to keep a possession for Reno 1868.
Yeah, it's that defending from the front foot that I talked about. Matt LaGrassa was able to win the ball into a dangerous position, find Chris Weehan, who tried to slide Dane Kelly through, but it didn't quite come off that time. But you see how dangerous Reno 1868 is when they win the ball high up the field and attack quickly.
Bad throw in there that time by Reno. Will give an opportunity here to the Toros. They probably shouldn't have gotten. Dangerous spot here. Kasner will send it backwards. Reno catching a break there. See if they can get it out of harm's way. LaGrassa up to Mafeka. Now Opano. Back to Mafeka. Trying to find Brent Richards coming up from the backfield.
Lovely play to find Brent Richards into space on the opposite end.
Richards trying to center it. It'll go off of Magalhaes. And a corner kick coming up for Reno.
Unfortunate deflection off of Brent Richards, and it will be a goal kick.
Oh, did it go back off of him?
It went back off of him after.
So off of Magalhaes and then off of Richards. And so a goal kick from Marco Carducci. I want to point out again, this is his first start in a Toros uniform, just a 20-year-old from Alberta, Canada. I think you had mentioned if during the pregame open, if you missed it, came out of the Vancouver Whitecaps Academy.
Yeah, Vancouver Whitecaps has had a very famed academy. They came here earlier, and they had a lot of guys from their residency program that came through are now USL players. And, of course, Alfonso Davies, who's just got his first call-up with the Canadian senior national team at 16 years old. He came through that academy. It's very, very successful in the last few years with their residency program.
Matt LaGrassa able to get it away from Kasner. Some pressure from Wharton, so it'll send it back to Tarbell, who boots it out of bounds. Ivan Magalhaes. The throw in goes to Rodriguez.
Just offside there from Dane Kelly.
So about 8 minutes left here in the first half. Rio Grande Valley and Reno tied tonight. Both teams hoping to pick up some valuable points here in the Western Conference. These are two teams that have not played very many matches. Rio Grande Valley and Reno, only 9 coming into tonight. And there are some teams coming into the evening that had already played 12. So some opportunities for both of these clubs to put themselves ahead of that cut line at number 8 in the Western Conference in terms of playoff seeding.
Yeah, and the playoff race is very tight right now. I mean, San Antonio Real Monarchs are running away the first and second, but 3rd through 8th are up for grabs, and pretty much everyone in the Western Conference is around the same level of points. But like you said, Rio Grande Valley and Reno have a couple games in hand, so they'll want to be able to make up ground and really establish themselves in this playoff hunt.
Good hold-up play there by Hopino. Trying to spring Weehan and cleared away. That time, Kasipli tried to get in there. Now Kevin Garcia. Back to Sagal. Got to be fun for Sagal. I know it's a long ways away from home, but being back in his home state.
I think his dad's here in the crowd. He made the 7-hour drive over here, so I'm sure Mr. Sagal will be happy to be able to see his son play live for Rio Grande Valley.
First year in the Toros organization. Jimmy Ockford clearing that one out of harm's way as Todd Wharton making a run on it. Magalhaes the throw-in. Gets it to Hollins, who has certainly been a playmaker for Rio Grande Valley tonight, as has Rodriguez, who had their first goal. Kasner sends it back to Garcia. A little more conservative play now by the Toros after we saw them be much more aggressive in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's just the nature of how Reno 1868 play. They want to invite that pressure so they can find those gaps in the midfield for guys like Chris Weehan and Lindo Mafeka to make the center backs commit to them so then they can spring forward Openo or Dane Kelly.
Reno almost kind of daring other teams to make a mistake.
Oh, definitely. And they'll bait them in. You'll see Jimmy Ockford or Brenton Griffiths, they won't really force that ball in. They'll play around with Matt LaGrosse a little bit, force teams to come up and try to win it back, and then that's when they strike, and that's when they find guys, like I said, like Weehan and Mafeka into space.
Knocked out of bounds, Kelly and Magalhaes colliding, and it'll be Reno ball as Kasipli and his now very distinguishable black mustache will hand it back towards Richards.
Yeah, I guess he decided to stick with it.
Hey, the team's been playing well with that mustache.
That might have been the difference maker. It got him into the starting lineup.
That sure did. Hasn't lost his job since he had that stash.
No.
Once again, Kasner sending it back to Bird. And headed away by Richards.
Richards may not be the tallest guy, but he's so strong in the air. You'll see him win everything. He's got a huge leap on him. Actually, in college was a forward and scored a lot of headed goals for Washington. So now they made the switch to right back. He still has that same attacking instinct to him.
Magalhaes is coming up. Richards able to get it out of harm's way. Trying to find Kelly as it goes out of bounds, and a quick throw-in from Taylor Hunter. Down to Kevin Garcia, 26-year-old from New York. Had some pro time in Sweden and Ireland. He's had a couple chances to go up and play with the Houston Dynamo over these last couple seasons.
A couple of these guys have. really brought in a pretty strong lineup for this game against Reno. Guys who haven't had a lot of minutes with Toros and more had been on the bench with Houston Dynamo. So
yeah, 5 players in tonight's lineup coming down from Houston.
Joe Holland, who's impressed me a lot today. His footwork has been fantastic. He's been able to find space, and he's been able to dictate play and be dangerous. He's someone Reno have to watch out for, especially in the second half, because he's had a lot of room to operate in this first half.
Cross that time from Kasner. He was trying to find Wharton. Poked out of bounds, though. And a throw-in coming for the Toros. Escalante will pass it off to Magalhaes. Gets it to Holland. You mentioned he's been real dangerous in this one. I know that goal went by Rodriguez, but I think it's been Holland who, I agree with you. I think he's been kind of the focal point of their offense.
He's been pulling the strings. He's been able to get past Matt LaGrassa a few times with some clever footwork, and he's been able to find Kasner or Rodriguez into space.
Whistle blown there as Rodriguez takes down Kelly. Trying to go for the ball there, but gets Kelly pretty hard. No card, but it will be a Reno ball here with about a minute to play in regulation. See if 1868 can create one more chance here before they head into halftime. Magalhaes heading it back the other way. Ockford hoping to control things as Kasipli bowls over Magalhaes. And Reno will take possession as we do now tick into that final minute.
Toros' outside backs are tall players who've been able to win a lot of balls in the air.
Openo gets into the box for Kelly. Back to Mafeka, and could not get a strong enough strike on that one. He lost his balance. A late chance here by Reno.
Great job from Dane Kelly to find Mafeka on the top of the box. And Jordan Morell wanted it on the far post, but that would have been a tricky ball for Mafeka to play.
Yeah, you could see Morell there throwing his hands up. So both teams, as I mentioned, 1 goal each, but both sides have had some chances here in the first half as well.
It's been a great first half. Both teams have had a lot of good chances. There's been a lot of good open play. This has been a fun game to watch.
Here's Sagal again from Las Vegas. He'll come up. Send it up for Wharton. He's tripped up by Griffiths and a whistle blown. Griffiths doesn't like it. Take another look there.
Definitely a foul. I mean, Brendan Griffiths comes in a
He's
little
trying to
late.
sell it, isn't he?
Clips the ankle, tries to point towards the stop ball and tell him that it's moving, but
we don't see a card there, but Wharton not happy about the way that transpired.
no, nothing malicious about it, but a foul.
Well, not only a foul, a chance here for Rio Grande Valley in a pretty dangerous part of the field as we go into stoppage time and what could be the final play of the first half.
Like we mentioned earlier, Rio Grande Valley have a very tall back line, and they'll look to find someone like Robbie Sagal or Magalhaes' head.
Joseph Hollins, Jose Escalante over the ball. It's Escalante who takes it, left foot into the box, headed away by Kelly. Now Ockford, still trouble, and ricocheted out of bounds. It looked like maybe Matt LaGrassa got his foot on that one, but a dangerous play there.
Yeah, well done from Reno to deflect that out for a corner. It was a good shot from Eric Bird there. It looked troubling for Tarbell, but Reno's back line did well to knock that out for a corner.
They'll just touch it in, trying to find Hollins, and that will end the first half here tonight in downtown Reno. So this has been a fun match to watch. A 1-1 tie as we head into the second 45 minutes. We will step aside and come back with highlights and more. You're watching United Soccer League action between Reno and Rio Grande Valley here on My 21 TV. Holland's already played the MLS with them this year. He's great. He's been tough. All right, welcome back. I'm Reno 1868 Football Club broadcaster Alex Margulies, joined by striker Antoine Hoppeneau. And from Paris, France, through Philly and northern New Jersey, what's it been like being out here on the West Coast and here in northern Nevada?
Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, I've always lived on Eastern time, so it's been a little bit different living on Pacific time. All my friends are on Eastern time as well, so getting used to the time change and everything, and living near California, it's a little different, but it's been a lot of fun.
All right, the team has been really hot lately. You've won 3 matches and 1 draw in your last 4 in the USL, and you personally, coming off of being USL Player of the Week, and really have been a disruptive force since moving into the striker position. How comfortable do you feel playing there, maybe as opposed to midfield where you were earlier this year?
Yeah, I mean, I've played my whole life up there, so it's I have a lot of good instincts for the position and ability to try to find the space that's open. And playing with Dane, he creates a lot of that space for me, so it makes my job a lot easier. And I've been able to get goals and create goals for other guys on our team, which has helped us do well in the last several games.
Head coach Ian Russell has described you as a guy that's maybe kind of a pest, a guy that other teams just don't want to have to face. Is that something that you want to try and accomplish, as being somewhat of a disruptive force out there?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys pride themselves on their ability to have other teams not want to play against them, and I think a lot of times that comes as 2 different things, which is playing well and creating a lot of opportunities, but also making the other team feel uncomfortable when they have the ball.
So we mentioned before that you're from kind of the Philly area, and you actually had a chance to play for your hometown MLS team, the Philly Union. A lot of great years and experience there. What was that like to get a chance to play for them?
Yeah, I mean, it was very exciting. I think any professional athlete wants to go play for their hometown. So for me to be able to do that right away was an incredible opportunity, and I was happy to be able to do that, and had 4 good years there. And I mean, ended it. Now I'm doing something else, but it was awesome to have had that opportunity to be able to play for them.
Obviously, you're enjoying your time here in the USL with Reno, but I have to imagine getting back to Major League Soccer would be a goal of yours. Is that something that you hope to have an opportunity to get a chance to play at a higher level once again?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't really think about it all too much. I think if that opportunity presents itself, obviously it's an opportunity every guy wants to take. But for that opportunity to present itself, we have to do well as a team, and you have to focus on the season you have. You can only play the games that you get to play. So the idea is just to focus on Reno and winning a USL championship with them. And if that happens, I think we'll have an opportunity. A lot of guys will have an opportunity, show MLS teams that they deserve to be up there.
All right, well, it's been a pleasure watching you play here in Reno. Certainly wishing you the best of luck, and thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
All right, Antoine Hoppeneau, I'm Alex Margulies. We'll be right back.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a discipline. Professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
Danny Koenig is getting back into form in his new home with FC Cincinnati. The 2015 Golden Boot runner-up scored 21 goals 2 seasons ago, but struggled to follow up that impressive performance, only adding 4 goals in 30 games for Oklahoma City Energy FC last year. On May 10th, a blockbuster early season trade sent Koenig to Cincinnati, having been held scoreless through 4 games with Energy FC in 2017. But that is no longer the case. Koenig has stepped into his new role for Cincinnati and found himself back in the scoring column, and also as the team's second leading scorer, tallying 3 goals in 3 appearances. Koenig finished with the brace in a 2-1 win against Bethlehem Steel FC, and led his team to a 1-0 win against Toronto FC2. Koenig's goal against TFC2 came moments after he was being treated on the sideline. He entered back into the game just in time to get on the end of a Tyler Polak cross. Those 2 wins were Cincinnati's first back-to-back wins of the season, both in front of more than 18,000 fans at Nippert Stadium. Koenig last scored in 3 consecutive games in July 2015. He will look to match that feat for Cincinnati in Week 11 against the Rochester Rhinos. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Well, it has been another exciting night of USL soccer here in the biggest little city, as we have a 1-1 tie here coming out of halftime between Reno 1868 and Rio Grande Valley. Alex Margulies and Colin Tabor back with you here tonight. And Colin, let's take a look at those first half highlights for Reno. They've been on such a tear offensively, and they would get an early chance once again thanks to Antoine Hopino being taken down.
Antoine Hopino earns yet another penalty.
Dane Kelly, who has been sure-footed in that spot, couldn't connect that time. And then it was an assault on goal from the Toros. They would have a couple chances early on to get the first goal of the night, and eventually they would. We did see this takedown, and we were a little upset that that wasn't a penalty kick for Lindo Mafeka.
Yeah, no penalty, and then they score on the resulting counterattack. Todd Wharton able to get a chest on from what looks like an offside position. Even if Brenton Griffiths does somehow keep him on, Andrew Tarbell being in front of the play means that he is offside.
Pretty amazingly unlucky goal for Reno 1868, but just 3 minutes later, Dane Kelly does it again, his 11th goal of the season.
Who else but Dane Kelly? He's been on fire the last few weeks, scoring goal after goal.
Here's one more look at Kelly, and you mentioned it at the time. He's not going to miss from that spot.
No, never. He's able to just slot it away. Easy finish for Dane Kelly.
Kelly now, as I mentioned, 11 goals on the season, his 60th of his USL career. He has never scored more than 12 goals in any season, and yet here we are in match number 10, and he already has 11. I mean, this guy just cannot be stopped right now.
You can't imagine him not breaking that record this season. He's definitely going to get more from here on out.
So we'll see if Reno can pick up some much-needed points here at home. This is a club that really struggled at the outset of the season, but over these last few weeks, it started with a 4-0 win in Phoenix, and then a couple weeks ago, coming home and absolutely blasting Seattle 6-0. They dominated Tulsa by a 4-0 defeat, and then they went on the road, and despite scoring 3 goals, they would come away with a 3-3 draw against Colorado Springs. Tonight, you would really like to see Reno take care of business here at home and earn 3 very valuable points.
Yeah, definitely, but Rio Grande Valley are not going to roll over. They have been a very good team. Joe Holland in particular has been outstanding today, and they'll be looking to try and get one on Reno. They've been a good team today.
You know, it's pretty impressive. We were talking during the break, just remarking about how talented this Toros team is. In your opinion, you've watched every match, at least here at home. You feel like Joseph Holland might be the most talented player Reno has faced all year.
At least at Greater Nevada Field. Billy Forbes for San Antonio might be a little bit better. Billy Forbes has been fantastic this season for San Antonio FC. Sebastian Velasquez at Real Monarchs, he did well against Reno 1868 as well. But here at Greater Nevada Field, Joe Holland, I think, has been the best player I've seen.
Well, this Rio Grande Valley team, this is a club that has 5 players down from the Houston Dynamo. Certainly a good opportunity for them to get some playing time, as we are just a couple moments away from starting the second half action. Colin, if you're Reno 1868, you worked to a draw there in the first half. What do you do to come away with a win here tonight?
More of the same. Put the pressure on that back 4 of Rio Grande Valley. Try to win the ball up high. Try to find Lindo Mafeka in space between the defense and midfield, and then spring Openo and Dane Kelly forward to possibly put one away.
Now, how do you expect Rio Grande Valley to play this? So this has been a very conservative team all year. They have not allowed more than 1 goal in any match this season. Are we going to see a Rio Grande Valley team that was aggressive like we did maybe in the first 25 minutes, or do you expect them to kind of sit back and fight for a draw here tonight?
I think it will be an aggressive Rio Grande Valley team. I mean, they don't always have Memo Rodriguez. They don't always have Joe Holland. These guys have been able to allow them to play a different style of soccer, and I think they're going to come out in the second half ready to play.
And I think if you're Rio Grande Valley and you've got these kind of players down from Houston, you want to come away with 3 points, don't you?
Definitely. They only have so many opportunities to have these guys because normally they are with the Houston first team, so they'll want to come away with a win on this one.
Here's a big wide look at Greater Nevada Field here in downtown Reno. The 1868 Football Club in the blue jerseys, and in red, Rio Grande Valley. Already a substitution coming in here in the second half. You can see him right there, number 96, Luis Felipe. He has been here in a couple weeks. It looks like he is going to take over for Reno here in the second half.
Looks like he took out Seth Kasipli. I didn't see the mustache there in the huddle, so I imagine Chris Weehan will move over to the right side, and Luis Felipe will play on the left.
Felipe's made 3 appearances thus far after being signed a few weeks ago by this club. A young 21-year-old who got some great playing time last year with Fort Lauderdale in the NASL, and a chance to make an impact here in the second half. Once again tonight, there's Fernandez sending it back for Jimmy Ockford. He's got a very complicated name. It's Luis Felipe Fernandez Rodriguez.
That's Brazilians for you. That's why they normally have the nicknames. I'm surprised it's not Luisito or something, but Luis Felipe is in the back of his jersey.
Looks like Felipe already getting involved in a collision as you see him down on the grass. We'll take another look and see what happened here. Felipe tussling with Magalhaes, and eventually Magalhaes looked like he just kind of tripped and fell right into him.
Yeah, it looks like Luis Felipe sitting a little further back than Casipli was. I imagine it's to give Matt LaGrossa some support to shut down Joe Holland, who's had a lot of space in front of this Reno back four.
Well, it was interesting. I was talking to Ian Russell about Felipe, and the one thing he remarked, first of all, he said this is a really young, talented player that he's excited to have. But one thing that he is exceptional at is winning balls, going out there and going out and creating chances and being a good ball winner.
He's a good ball winner, and he's good at retaining the ball, too. I mean, he had the games he's played, he's had a lot of freedom, but 97% pass accuracy speaks for itself. He's been able to hold on to the ball, push it away from pressure, as we saw when he earned the foul, put his body between the defender and the ball, and release it and find someone's feet.
By the way, our substitutions presented by the Les Schwab Tire Center. There's Felipe again, has it taken away by Magalhaes.
Kind of odd to see Luis Felipe actually on the right side. He is a left-footed player, so I thought that Chris Weehan would swap sides with him, but it looks like they're sticking with that here. Straight swap with Casipli on the right.
Magalhaes will send it downfield for Wharton. Back to Escalante.
Well done from Matt LaGrossa to find Lindo Mafeka.
Mafeka finds Hopono. Antoine Hopono gets it in the box. Centers it, trying to find Weehan. Couldn't connect. Now he'll try and float it in there and can't get it in control. But an early opportunity here in the first couple minutes for Reno.
Yeah, clever little trip from Chris Weehan to try and find that far post. Openo did well to find Chris Weehan in the feet instead of trying to lump it into the box. We know how tall that Rio Grande Valley back four is, and so they're going to try and find feet in the box rather than head. Openo does well, and Chris Weehan almost finds that far post from the chip.
Chris Weehan in his first season in the USL, coming out of New Mexico, where he was a prolific goal scorer. 31 goals in his time with the Lobos.
Oh, he's been great for this Reno 1868 team. He plays the exact same style that Ian Russell wants. He transitions well. He wins the ball and plays it quickly. He's everywhere. He's up and down that line. He defends from the front. He passes well. He dribbles well. He's someone that this Reno 1868 team is lucky to have. I'm a big fan of his.
Rio Grande Valley came into this one 14 points. Reno with 12. So as I mentioned before, you could look back at games like this. These are important matches, especially for Reno here at home, if Reno wants to become a playoff team in their first season in the USL.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, Ian Russell spoke about he wants to make Greater Nevada Field a fortress. He wants to be able to get 3 points at home and possibly a point away, and hopefully more, but that's what he wants is 3 points at home. He wants Greater Nevada Field to be somewhere where people don't want to go, between the altitude and this quick attacking team.
Yeah, those are two interesting combinations. Altitude, which affects a lot of visiting teams, and then the style of play that Reno has, where they're going to be very, very aggressive, and we've really seen that in just about every match this year.
Definitely, and especially the games where they've been winning by big amounts these last couple weeks. It's something they've done really well.
Well, it's resulted in one of the best offensive attacks in the USL. Reno now 24 goals. Now into their 10th match. They came in third in the USL, and that isn't really accounting for the fact that this is only Reno's 10th match as well. Magalhaes fixing up some of the grass there. This is also a baseball diamond. You can see part of the diamond, and what you're looking at right there is the grass covering up the infield dirt.
And it's hard for this grounds crew. We've talked about it before. Reno Aces will leave, and then right away they'll have to put this sod down because 1868 will play just a day or two later. And so credit to the grounds crew for doing what they do. Well, it's not really an ideal situation when you see the sod coming up like that. and Magalhaes has to kick it back in.
So a set piece opportunity here for Rio Grande Valley. Rodriguez centers, and nice headed job there by Griffiths, but not out of trouble. Holland gets on the ball. Headed away this time by LaGrassa. Kelly taken down to the turf, and that's going to get a whistle blown as Bird, trying to win the ball there, just yanked Dane Kelly down to the ground. And a good job by the Reno defense to stay out of trouble there. That might have been a pretty good sell job there by Kelly.
Oh, Bird puts his arm around him, pulls him down. Yeah, he doesn't have to go down, but when you lose your advantage, you should, because you're not going to get the call if you don't. That's just the reality of soccer.
Andrew Tarbell. Blasted deep onto the other side of the fields. Felipe almost had it. Here comes Escalante the other way. Gets it to Kasner. It's taken away by Morel.
Well done for Matt LaGrassa to break up play once again and keep the ball in the opposition half. He gives it away there.
TJ Kasner gets it up to Hollins. That was the 1-2 punch in the first half for Rio Grande Valley, were those two. Luis Felipe. Richards able to save it for Reno.
Oh, well done from Richards there.
Hopono centers. Too strong, looking for Dane Kelly, and that one will roll out of play. Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
That was well done from Jimmy Ockford to read the danger. Jordan Morel got caught in his back foot. Jimmy Ockford was there to knock it out of play.
Hunter this time coming up, and a takedown from Richards. They won't blow the whistle as Richards able to get it downfield, trying to find Antoine Hopono.
Well, that's got to be the tackle of the game right there from Brent Richards. He did brilliant there to meet him early and really hit a crunching tackle.
Hopono throws it in for Richards. LaGrassa. Send it across for Jordan Morel. Now Brenton Griffiths. Lindo Mafeka. Dane Kelly trying to create a chance. Hopono didn't want to go off sides there, and now they blow the whistle anyways. You saw him there. The ball was in position where Antoine Hopono could have raced up on it, but he was leery of going off sides, and it'll end up happening anyways. You can see him slow down there, hoping that Magalhaes will come up and allow him to get to it, but just couldn't quite time it up.
Yeah, just a half a step offside there from Hopono. Looks like Rio Grande Valley are starting to get more control of this game. I think they've figured out a game plan to stop this high transition Reno offense.
Rasa working against Holland, gets it over to Griffiths. Kasner coming up to try and keep it in play and boot it back to midfield.
Matt LaGrassa has done a very good job today of breaking up play for Reno 1868. He's had a lot to deal with. When you're at the base of the diamond like this Reno 1868 midfield, he has a lot of ground to cover, and it's tough, especially when he's facing guys like Joe Holland, but he's done well today.
Great win there by Richards to poke that one through and send it the other side and give the defense a chance to resettle here. Here's Rodriguez, who had that first goal for the Toros back in the 20th minute in the first half. Up to Kasner. Had only played 61 minutes this season, but He's had some very meaningful playing time. 22-year-old from Irvine, California. Coors Light reminds you to celebrate every climb safely. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility. Absolutely beautiful night here in downtown Reno, and the Greater Nevada Credit Union is the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields.
Yeah, nice, cool summer night in Reno. Slight breeze, perfect soccer playing conditions here.
Jordan Morrell trying to find Opero. Slide there by Morrell to prevent Kasner from getting a chance at it.
Great tackle from Morrell, trying to compete with Brent Richards for that coveted tackle of the game.
Oh, you can see just how important every touch is right now. Trying to prevent the opposition from getting a chance. Both teams have done a really good job at that so far. Kasner takes a whack at it, but it's deflected out of bounds. So you look at Ian Russell there on the sidelines, pacing up and down.
Yeah, you can't be too happy of the way Reno have opened up this second half after a great first half, but it's still 30 minutes to go and they can find their stride again.
Headed back by Eric Bird, then Mafeka. Felipe. LaRassa will come up. Collision there. Felipe can't get to it. It's knocked away by Eric Bird, who slid in and prevented a chance there for Reno.
I think he's looked a little uncomfortable on this right side. I think he's not used to people pressuring the way they are, and I think the difference between hitting a short pass to your left and your right, that extra yard of space he could build isn't quite there because he wants to hit that pass with his left foot and they're getting intercepted.
Holland able to get it out of there, trying to create a counterattack, but Ockford steps up to keep it for Reno. Here come the Toros again. Kasner. Reno's back's retreating towards the box. Kasner gets it centered. Ockford will kick it out of play. Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Substitution coming now for the Toros.
Looks like we're going to see Charlie Ward here today. Played every minute up until today. A bit of a surprise to see him on the bench, but here he is.
A real veteran for Rio Grande Valley, not only every minute this year, but 31 games for them last year.
Well, he's the engine to this team. He'll cover a lot of ground. He'll pass the ball well. He has the highest passes for the Rio Grande Valley this year, and a remarkable 90% passing accuracy for the amount of passes, which is over 550, I believe. Very good passer of the ball.
Not only fresh legs, but a guy that has been a real impact for this team this year.
Definitely, and that's someone good to bring in off the bench because he's a real leader of this team.
Nice job there by Reno to get it cleared away. Once again, our substitutions brought to you by the Les Schwab Tire Center. As Ward comes in for Escalante. Ward, a 22-year-old from Birmingham, England. Along with Holland, both of them from England. Same hometown. Notice a trend here with Rio Grande Valley. A lot of kind of groupings of guys that have played together in other spots, and you mentioned that really helps build the chemistry and continuity.
Oh, that's a great little dummy from Eric Bird.
Bird trying to sell, being taken down in the box. He's not going to get the call.
Yeah, it was a nice little play from Kasner, but he doesn't get the foul, and Reno are able to work it out of there.
Luis Felipe able to get away from Todd Wharton. Here's Richards now. Back to Felipe. Goes right between his legs. Richard again hustling up to get that one. I think like you mentioned before, Felipe has come in usually and he's looked very comfortable, but as you mentioned, maybe in a bit of an unfamiliar position, and it's not resulting in the way we usually see him come off the bench.
He does well to get away from them there and find Dan Kelly, but yeah, I think his other games for Reno 1868 had a lot of time and space on the ball, and it's a bit of an adjustment for because this is a very high-intensity game, and it's tough for any sub to come in at a level like this, but he's starting to find his feet.
Coors Light reminds you that every climb deserves a refreshing finish, and every night deserves a safe ending. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Greater beer, great responsibility. LaRossa sends it up top for Jordan Morel. Morel, like Holland and Ward, also from England. Hails from London.
Well, just a little bit too much from Dan Kelly, but Luis Felipe is able to win the ball and keep up the pressure.
Opano gets a whistle from Magalhaes.
It's a good position for a free kick. Chris Weehan will be able to whip a dangerous ball into one of Brenton Griffiths or Jimmy Ockford. Look for those two.
Opano trying to hold that play up, and he was just barreled over by Magalhaes. And a chance here for Reno in the 63rd minute. Weehan and Mafeka standing by the ball.
This is more of a left-footer's spot, but I expect Chris Weehan to whip a ball into that far post.
It will be Weehan. Gets into the post, but Kelly couldn't control it as he collides with LaGrassa. Boy, that was a good spot. Great ball by Chris Weehan.
Oh, it was an excellent ball. He's able to whip that in with a lot of pace, and all you need is a touch on it, and you're able to put that away.
Had so much heat on it, maybe a little bit hard to control with the head.
At that point, when it has that much pace on it, you just get whatever body part you can and just try to redirect it. Because even if the opposition team gets a part of their body on it, it's threatening. And you see a lot of own goals from balls exactly like that.
Nice touch there by Weehan again, trying to find Hopano. Kasner back on it, gets it to Bird. Send it back for Sagal.
Oh, well done from Jordan Morel, but it just came in the back of Kasner there.
USL, one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com. Also, follow them on Twitter at USL.
Speaking of prominent stars, Didier Drogba is supposed to make his debut this weekend for Phoenix Rising. I'm excited for that.
How about that?
Yeah, amazing. Champions League winner, instrumental in Chelsea's Champions League win. Hugely successful player, one of the best African players of all time. One of the most famous soccer players in the world, and he's here in the USL.
Pretty incredible to see a guy like that get a chance to compete in the USL, and what a treat for the fans.
Oh, definitely. Looking forward to Phoenix's trip to Reno. It'll be cool to see Didier Drogba here at Greater Nevada Field.
So a corner kick after Griffiths unable to keep it from going past the end line. Once again, it'll be Rodriguez. And for the second time, electing not to try and get it into the box. Instead, it's getting into Hollins. Back out to Kasner. Hollins gets into the box. Tarbell will step up and grab it.
Well done from Tarbell. He's so good at dealing with crosses. He's able to catch everything that comes his way. He's such a huge presence in that box.
Do you think Rodriguez electing now twice not to try and center it into the box, is that respect for Reno's backs and how good they are in the air?
Oh, definitely. Brenton Griffiths and Jimmy Ockford are so dangerous in the air, and it's tough for guys like Wharton to be able to challenge that, so they're going to want to play it on the ground most likely.
Weehan gets it up to Felipe. Luis Felipe, right-footed strike, and it's in! Luis Felipe has given Reno a 2-1 lead.
Well, they showed him onto his left foot, and he went and beat them with the step over, and with his right foot tucked away, a nice, cool finish. They never saw that coming from Luis Felipe. Well done from the Brazilian.
His first goal in a Reno 1868 uniform, and what a strike that was. Makes a move on Magalhaes and buries it past the diving Marco Carducci.
And that all came from Chris Wehan breaking that press and was able to find dangerous space in. And then they were able to slide in Luis Felipe to goal.
TJ Kasner leading a counterattack very quickly here. Bird gets into the box. LaGrassa sends it wide for Morel. So we were talking about Luis Felipe Fernandez kind of feeling his way into this game here in the second half in the opening minutes, but certainly catching on very quickly there.
Oh, he definitely found his way into the game. Great job with the step over to get past, and then an excellent right-footed finish. I think they were expecting him to want to push it onto his left foot, and he was able to take that space and put it away with his right. Very well done from Luis Felipe Fernandez.
Rodriguez gets into the box. Tarbell able to get it away, and Ockford, what a job. Jimmy Ockford just saved the equalizer.
Huge from Jimmy Ockford there. He senses the danger. He sees that Tarbell's coming off of his line, and he's able to get to it right before it goes to the goal line, and he clears it away for a corner kick. Well done from Jimmy Ockford, the captain.
Wow, the composure there to save that goal, that was incredible.
He really senses the danger there. He knows when the keeper's off his line that there's a risk of that, so his automatic instinct is to go to the goal line, and his instinct served him well there.
This time they'll try to get into the box, headed away by Kelly. Here's Charlie Ward just checked in, centered back in, headed this time by Richards. Now it's Kasner. Kasner takes a right-footed strike down, and it'll blast it into the Battleborn Brigade.
Can I just say how impressive it is for Dane Kelly to track back on that corner and win that header and put it away? When goal scorer like that, a lot of them don't do the defensive work, but he did so well to get that out of there.
Battleborn Brigade, they are fired up after the sequence of events that just took place over the last 3 minutes. The goal from Luis Felipe and the tremendous defensive effort there by Ockford. Here comes Kasner again. Sends it back for Ward. Up top for Garcia. Sagal has it taken away by Kelly. Dane Kelly tripped up, and that might be a card. And there it is. Yellow card comes out as Dane Kelly was going to be sprung loose. And Sagal trying to come after him there.
Yeah, Dane Kelly does so well to strip Robbie Sagal of the ball, and really Sagal has no other choice but to take him down and take the yellow. But well done from Dane Kelly once again defending.
Fans, you can learn the beautiful game from your very own Reno 1868 players. Sign up for 1868 FC's inaugural season summer camps and elite training. It starts at only $199 per child. Learn more at Reno1868FC.com. Chris Wehan and Lindo Mafeka once again on the ball. Wehan into the box. Oh, and Griffiths trying to redirect there. Had a real good spot. Another great set piece play by Chris Wehan.
Yeah, real dangerous from Chris Wehan. He puts it in that spot between where the defense is set up and where the goalkeeper can reach it. And Brenton Griffiths just inches away from a Wonderful finish there.
Well, it's amazing because if he's not there, there's still 3 other Reno players that would have had a shot at that.
Oh, those balls are so hard to deal with for goalkeepers, and credit to Dane Kelly winning that foul all on his own right there to be able to put such a dangerous position there.
Hollins. Ockford again. Wow. What a defensive job by Jimmy Ockford. He has been sensational.
He's been huge these last few minutes. A great tackle there on Joe Holland.
Magalhaes comes up and keeps it going. Kasner now on the assault. Kasner, the headed deflection, and too wide as Wharton came in and tried to redirect it, and that was trouble for Reno.
Wharton really should have put that away there. It was an excellent ball from Kasner to find him on that far post, and he has all the space and time in the world to just put that away, and he hits it wide.
So a substitution now for the Toros as Camilo Monroy will come in and replace Jose Rodriguez. Rodriguez mentioning just his second start for the Toros and now 3 goals in 2 starts as he departs.
Yeah, Camilo Monroy, his first touch was a little nutmeg on Jordan Morel and was able to find Joe Holland into the box. So not a bad opening sequence there for Monroy.
Two to 1 Reno here as we approach the halfway point here in the second half. Magalhaes able to keep it from going out of bounds in front of Felipe.
Well done for Magalhaes to keep it in play and then switch the field for Monroy.
Monroy gets it to Garcia. Here's Ward. Magalhaes into the box. Whistle blown that time, and that is dangerous for Reno. Jordan Morel threw down the Toros player in the middle of the box. Let's take another look.
That's soft. That is really, really soft. If Lindo Mafeka's isn't a penalty, I have to ask the ref, how is that one a penalty?
So a real gut shot for Reno here in the 74th minute as Eric Bird will get a penalty kick and a chance to equalize. Bird, the 24-year-old from Virginia Beach, Virginia, against Andrew Tarbell. Bird gets it in. And we are tied at 2. Unbelievable. One more look. Bird going to the right side. Tarbell staying home, kind of guessing right. And Eric Bird will equalize this game at 2 goals apiece.
So far for Rio Grande Valley, we've had Wharton should have been offside on the first goal, and now a pretty soft penalty. Yeah, Jordan Morel made some contact, but Eric Bird made a meal out of it.
That's tough.
That is tough. That is tough. But Rio Grande Valley's been good. The goals might not have necessarily been that good, but they've been a good team today. I've been impressed with them.
Reno's had a couple tough games to swallow this year, both of them that I can think of against Colorado Springs, one that happened here and one that happened there, where they got into these games where they resulted in a draw where really Reno maybe felt like they could have won both of those matches.
Yeah, 2 stoppage times equalizers for switchbacks against Reno. In the Vancouver game earlier in the season, Reno could have felt like they won it. But while the last few weeks things have really gone Reno's way, apart from the switchbacks game, there have been some times where it quite hasn't. And I think the record doesn't always, especially the beginning of the season, doesn't always reflect how they played.
Magalhaes looking to find Monroy, as that's the one is just escorted out of bounds. So a lot of time on the clock. If there's any silver lining for Reno, is that they've had a lot of chances in this one. They've been able to create quite a bit, and there is still at least 18, 19 minutes of regulation left. Here's Mafeka out of Felipe. Here comes Reno on the attack. Richards! Brett Richards! Goal! And Reno's back on top.
And it's a beautiful play from Reno, able to switch the play. Lindo Mafeka finds space, sends Brent Richards forward, and Brent Richards tucks it away first time with a fantastic finish.
For Richards, his first goal of the season. He was injured for the majority of the beginning of the year. And just minutes after Bird ties it at 2, he re-establishes the lead for Reno.
For Brent Richards in 3 games since he's been back, 2 assists and a goal. Not bad for a right back at all. 2 lovely assists, I should add. The first time through ball to Dane Kelly, and then against Colorado Springs, the little nutmeg through ball to Dane Kelly.
Well, we're sitting here talking about silver linings, and once again, this Reno attack has just been so good.
They're so good at these team goals where they play the ball quickly, 2 touches on the ground, and are able to play people through to finish.
Yeah, it's amazing because this Reno team, they can get you when they're just on the full-blown attack, and they can really get you sometimes on the counter as well.
Definitely. They're so dangerous on the counter, especially when they win the ball high up the field.
So we'll see if they can close out this one tonight and hold off a really good Rio Grande Valley team, a 3-2 advantage now as a whistle will stop.
Looks like
play here.
TJ Kasner's down on the ground. He's looked good today. Switched over to the left flank in the second half and had the great cross to Wharton that Wharton put just wide.
It's like Kasner was holding his knee as he's helped up by one of the officials. Pretty incredible, Colin. Talking about a Toros team that had not allowed more than 1 goal all season long in any match. And only 5 goals in 9 matches. And tonight, Reno's got 3.
That's just this Reno attack. They're unstoppable these last few weeks. They can get goals anytime a team puts their head down. Boom, counterattack, someone's through, and it's a goal. They've been so impressive.
20 goals now in their last 5 matches.
Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable.
And what a confident group this must be when you go through some of the hard moments that they have had to face here tonight, maybe feeling they got the raw end of a couple calls, and to answer as quickly as they have, incredible. Here's Monroy. Speedster, send it backward for Garcia. Monroy's there in those yellow cleats. Came off the bench replacing Rodriguez a few minutes ago. Here's Ward, who is also a second-half substitution. Monroy is 18 years old from Columbia. Little touch pass with Bird. Here he comes again. Tough to stop. Takes a big strike from outside the box. Really trying to give it a go there, but out of reach of Tarbell.
Monroy's looked good so far. He's a tricky winger. He's able to take people on, and that wasn't a bad long shot at all from him.
So Kasner out. Kyle Murphy will come in, 24-year-old from New York. Again, our substitutions brought to you by the Les Schwab Tire Center as Kasner still favors that knee.
It looks like one Clemson boy for another with Kasner off and Murphy in.
Mafeka. Kelly keeps it alive.
Oh,
Tripped up there by Sagal, won't get a whistle.
Mafeka does so well to sense that loose ball, but Robbie Sagal responds equally as well and puts in a great tackle against Mafeka to stop that. What would have been a dangerous counterattack.
How about that win that time by Richards? He's doing it all.
He is doing it all. He's been great today. He's been everywhere.
Richards will blast that one with his right foot. Well out of play. Fans want to remind you to stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern, Sirius XM, Channel 85. Also, don't forget the Sirius XM USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Looks like a little change in shape for Reno 1868 to protect this lead. Openo's gone out to play right mid. Looks like they're just going to play with the lone striker and Dane Kelly. Nice little one-touch play from Chris Weehan, but Lindo Mafeka can't find him on the 1-2.
Garcia keeping it moving for the Toros, gives it off to Bird. Back to Sagal, now Charlie Ward. Ward will take it across midfield. Kelly running up and trying to grab him from behind, and it looks like Kelly might have tweaked his left ankle there. Kelly has been really aggressive on both sides of the field. Check him out here.
Yeah.
Grabs on to Ward, and it looks like he just lost his footing.
Yeah, I've never seen him quite defend like that, Dane Kelly. He's tracking back on corners and heading it out. He's winning the ball from the front. He's tracking runs and trying to make that tackle. Yeah, he got ball, but he pulled down on Ward before, so it was a foul. But it looks like he hurt his ankle on that. But he should be okay.
Another substitution now for Reno, as we'll see Junior Burgos take over for Lindo Mafeka. Substitution brought to you by the Les Schwab Tire Center. Burgos started the season as Reno's number 10, as they call it, kind of the point guard of the team. Mafeka's been there the last couple weeks, but Burgos certainly a talented player and a guy that has had a chance to play for his national team this year in El Salvador.
Junior Burgos is a hugely talented player. He has so much ability to him. He has such a great set-piece delivery. He has excellent long passing range, and he can score from distance too. He really does have a magical right foot.
Greater Nevada Credit Union is the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Field. Kelly again bowled over, this time coming by Taylor Hunter. Won't get a whistle. Reno trying to hold on here for the final 6 minutes of regulation plus. A 3-2 advantage on Rio Grande Valley as they try to win their third consecutive match here in their home building. Reno with 3 wins and a draw in their last 4 USL matches. They did fall to Sacramento last week in between in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, and despite losing to a USL opponent, won't count against the standings. As Holland tries to get in there, LaGrassa, good job there to take it away. Weehan fighting off a couple red jerseys, and now it's finally cleared back to midfield.
Yeah, and going out early in the Open Cup, I don't see that as the end of the world. While a cup run is fun, it just adds so much to the schedule, and if you don't have a really deep team, the fixture congestion can prove to be a lot for teams. So,
you know, it would have been nice for Reno to get an MLS side in Real Salt Lake to come here, but at a certain point in the Lamar Cup, if you're not going to win the whole thing, you're really straining yourself. And for Reno, they want to be a playoff team here in their first season. And the more time and effort and energy they're spending in that Lamar U.S. Open Cup, like you said, maybe it detracts from their ability to become a playoff team in the USL.
Yeah, any single elimination cup tournament like the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup here or FA Cup in England, until you're at the quarterfinals where then you have a real shot at winning it, getting out's not the end of the world, I think.
So Dane Kelly will finish his night. Picked up his 11th goal of the season back in the 23rd minute. He has been a star yet again tonight, and Kelly a little frustrated with himself as he comes off being replaced by Mac Pridham.
Yeah, Mac Pridham will put some hard work hounding these center backs and making sure that they don't have time to play. He'll put a good shift in for these last 5-6 minutes to make sure Reno can protect their lead.
Carducci will come up, send it wide for Ward. Garcia back to Ward. Magalhaes. See you touch that one last. It looks like it's going to be Richards to get the throw in. Holland with the header. Felipe trying to control it. Collides with Bird, and they'll blow the whistle against Bird. Take another look here. The high leg from Bird catching Luis Felipe.
Yeah, that's a case of who gets there first, because if it's the other way around, then it's a foul on Luis Felipe. But Felipe does well to get there first. Oh, and a great turn from Matt LaGrassa there to find space.
Brenton Griffiths will send it back to Tarbell. Giving up 2 goals here tonight, but one of those on a PK. The other, when you look at that replay of that goal, so many crazy things had to happen. Burgos, diving stop by Carducci.
Excellent save there from Carducci. Like I said, Junior Burgos is so dangerous outside the box on those shots, but Carducci does really well to get a palm on that and swat it away.
Monroy.
Man, Monroy has looked good since coming on. He's someone with a real turn of pace, and he can take people on.
Pridham, who just checked in, sending it wide for Weehan. Gets it off to Burgos. Garcia comes in, bumps him, and grabs the ball. Up to Ward. Magalhaes down to Murphy. Bird to Hollins.
Hollins had a little bit of quieter of a second half than his excellent first half he's had. But he's still someone who's dangerous. He's someone that Reno cannot let have some space in these final minutes.
Rio Grande Valley right now putting together a really nice possession. They've got a lot of bodies forward.
And they're being patient with it. They're not trying to force it through. They know that they still have a little bit of time, and they're looking for the right opportunity.
Richards able to get in front of one there. Now Hopino, and he will send it back towards midfield.
Oh,
nice
well
job by Mac
Pridham.
Pridham. He's got a one-on-one with goal. Pridham can't complete it as Carducci comes up and stops it.
It can be so hard sometimes when you have that much time. You start to overthink yourself so much. You think, do I put it away? Do I go around the keeper? And he just got caught in 2 minds and ended up making his decision a little too late on that.
Last touch there by Felipe, and a corner kept coming.
So well done for Mac Pridham there to get his head onto that and get that breakaway, though.
Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. This has been a really nerve-wracking spot for Reno. Can they hold off a stoppage time goal, something that has been a problem for them in several matches this year? Can they hang on here in the final 3 minutes? And the first test is going to come on the corner kick here from Camilo Monroy. Gets it into the box, headed out of trouble, and a big right-footed strike by Bird goes well high of the net.
And Tarbell will take his time with this goal kick. He'll push everyone up, might fix his shin guards a couple times, really waste the time he can. Because Rio Grande Valley put a lot of pressure on Reno in these last couple minutes.
It was a 1-1 game going into the half. Reno got the lead in the 65th minute from Luis Felipe Fernandez. A penalty kick goal from Eric Bird in the 74th. Retied it at 2, and then 2 minutes later in the 76th, Brent Richards giving Reno the lead, and can they hold on to that here on top 3-2? Good clear there by Ockford. Whistle blown, and a set-piece opportunity coming up. Morrell not happy with that after he collides with Todd Wharton. First the bump by Weehan. You see Morrell coming up from behind, and maybe that's what did him in, the way he approached coming from behind and getting his hand in there and catching a piece of Wharton's head.
Yeah, I think the hand made the difference there on that foul. Reno are going to want to make sure that they don't give any space to any of these guys running in for Rio Grande Valley.
So Reno holding their breath here in the final moments of this one tonight, trying to grab 3 very valuable points.
I think after their trip to Colorado Springs, another 3-3 late equalizer will be heartbreaking for this Reno team.
Monroy gets it in, headed away by Morrell. Burgos kicks it off of Monroy, and it'll be a Reno possession, and they'll take their time to get that one back in. Morrell the throw in. Gets it to Burgos. Pridham will blast it forward. Over to the keeper, Carducci.
This looks like the last chance for Rio Grande Valley. We're about up on our stoppage time.
Ward sending it wide for Garcia. Weehan to meet him.
It's an excellent ball from Ward to find Garcia in the corner.
Monroy gets into the box. Felipe with a good win there. Great win by Luis Felipe.
Well done, and they have space to attack. Weehan's up. Pridham's up. Openo's up. And Weehan will do the smart thing and take it to the corner. Protect it from here.
And that is the ball game. Reno once again coming out on top. What a battle here tonight against Rio Grande Valley. And those scenes say it all.
Huge win from Reno, 1868, against a very talented Toros team. They got to feel delighted with the way they played and the way they responded to a couple equalizers.
Brent Richards in the 76th minute. The game-winning goal. Luis Felipe Fernandez, you see him there, number 96. And Ian Russell shaking the hand of Antoine Openo. Another outstanding victory for Reno 1868. They have now won 4 of their last 5 games, and the exception was a draw. This team is on fire.
They can't be stopped right now. It took a very late equalizer from Colorado Springs to prevent it from being 5 wins in a row. But Reno, once again at home, taking care of business, and a very important win against Rio Grande Valley here.
So Reno improving to 4 wins, 3 losses, and 3 draws. They now have 15 points here in their inaugural season, and that will leap them past the Toros, who came in with 14 points. We'll take a break, come back with our second half highlights and more. Once again, The final here tonight in United Soccer League action. Reno 3, Rio Grande Valley 2. Well, the Battleborn Brigade is going to have a fun celebration tonight as Reno 1868 takes care of business. There have been some really heartbreaking moments for this team early in the season, but getting a hard-fought win here tonight over the Houston Dynamo affiliate Rio Grande Valley. And with that win, Reno now vaulting tied for 5th in the USL Western Conference, now with 15 points. That moves them into an even tie with Tulsa and Sacramento. So things really taking off right now for this team in their inaugural season.
Huge response here from Reno. Not too long ago, they were dead last in the Western Conference, and this win, along with the other ones, really put them in contention for a playoff spot. Ian Russell has to be proud of the way this team has played in the last few weeks. They've been simply phenomenal.
All right, let's take a look at our highlights here in the second half. It was a 1-1 tie heading into the second 45 minutes. And coming on as a substitution, Luis Felipe Fernandez buries one in the 65th minute.
Yeah, they gave him too much space on that right side, expecting him to cut back on his left. Does a quick little step over and buries it into the far post.
Felipe, in his 4th game in a Reno 1868 uniform, the Brazilian has been a fantastic addition. Then check out this save by Jimmy Ockford just 1 minute later as the Toros try to get the answer, and after it ricochets off of Tarbell. What a phenomenal job, and then more chances for the Toros. They did not make this easy tonight.
No, they did not. They were very threatening all game long. Credit to Toros for how they played. They really came at Reno hard.
They would equalize this match 2-2 in the 74th minute. A penalty kick goal from Eric Bird, and that was really deflating for Reno.
Yeah, but they didn't let their heads drop, and they were able to find that winner just minutes later.
So after the 2-2 draw, Reno could have easily just packed it in, but what did they do? 2 minutes later, Brent Richards making his 4th appearance after being injured to start the year. We have seen him make so many impactful assists, and this time he gets the goal of his own. And what an effort to get Reno back in front, and their defense would hold on from there.
They did very well to hold on until the very end. Rio Grande Valley looked threatening, especially Monroy, who came off the bench, who was able to take people on, but Reno handled the pressure. They were able to clear it out of there and hold off for a tough 3-2 win.
So Reno vaulting into a position to be a playoff team in their inaugural season. Long way to go here in this United Soccer League season, but certainly a lot to be excited about for this club after yet another winning result.
Oh, definitely. This Battleborn Brigade has to be happy with the way this team has been playing, and they're looking forward to playing rival Sacramento on Saturday, hoping for 4 home wins in a row.
So a huge one on tap next on Saturday night. It was Sacramento who knocked them out of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, and a chance in their very first regular season matchup here at Greater Nevada Field to take on a team that is considered their rival here in the USL. A chance, if they win that match, that could vault them into the top 3 in the USL Western Conference. What an amazing thing to say after the way that this season started. Again, a 7:30 match time Saturday night. If you can't make it out to Greater Nevada Field, we'll once again have the broadcast for you on My21 TV, as well online at YouTube and USLsoccer.com. Been a pleasure once again to have the broadcast for you. Want to thank our production crew who has done a phenomenal job all season. Great work once again. For my broadcast partner, Colin Tabor, I'm Alex Margulies saying so long from downtown Reno. Again, it's the 1868 Football Club coming out on top, a 3-2 final decision. Have a great night, everybody.